Our first stop in Gettysburg was the David Wills House. Within these walls, President Abraham Lincoln completed his Gettysburg Address. We are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, getting ready to go into the Wills House, the David Wills House Museum. And this is where President Lincoln spent the night.
Yes, he did. Thank God for that man.
He was invited to the house by attorney David Wills. So Robert is reading here about the Gettysburg Battle.
Before and after, about the road connections, the thriving farm county. And then afterwards, it just became nothing but transportation supplies, doctors, and food.
Here we are looking at the center of the town of Gettysburg as it looked just prior to the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery on November 19, 1863. During and after the Battle of Gettysburg, homes, stores, and churches were turned into hiding places, supply depots, and hospitals.
When Pennsylvania Governor Andrew Curtin gave his approved burials.
Did you know that there are 5 copies of the Gettysburg Address in Abraham Lincoln's handwriting, at least that are known to exist? After the consecration ceremony, he gave a draft to each of his secretaries. Today, they are housed in the Library of Congress. Later, he wrote out 3 additional copies to be auctioned and sold to benefit the war effort. One of these is currently at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield, Illinois, and another at Cornell University, and the third inside the Lincoln Room at the White House. Abraham Lincoln wrote portions of the Gettysburg Address before he left Washington, but finished writing it in this very room. After carefully reworking the address and getting details about the consecration ceremony from Wills, Lincoln walked next door with a speech in hand to visit the Secretary of State. He returned within a half an hour and retired to this bedroom. The next morning, he made final revisions to his speech before proceeding to the cemetery.
Taking time with her over there. So she said she has off next week. So
Dramatized and living.
Doing the Gettysburg Battlefield bus tour. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So you just saw us record the bus and come in. Well, guess what? That was supposed to be our tour bus. I thought we were supposed to be here at 1:45. We were supposed to be here at 1:30. So the next tour was sold out, but they made some phone calls and got us on the next and last tour. So I felt so stupid that, yeah, we were recording our bus that drove away. Baldiloks here is deciding what he wants to try.
I'm a root beer fan. You know, I can either get the Rebel Red Birch beer, but you know what? I represent the Union because the reason why is because we're the land of the free, baby.
So what is it that you're getting?
It's just
here?
the old Gettysburg root beer.
All right. So we're here in the gift store, and you can get all sorts of historic gift items or American-related items, and all sorts of things here. What everybody needs is a wind-up President Lincoln head. Robert's winding it up.
What?
That's what everybody needs. So we made sure to come out here because we didn't want to miss the bus the second time around.
Right. Missing it one time, won't miss the second.
Where this battle's in the area where this battle started on July the 1st of 1863. So we get this 3-day battle. Those 3 days in July 1863 come at the 2-year point of the American Civil War. We're going to start Cemetery Hill. It's called Cemetery Hill before the battle because over on the left you see the town cemetery that was already here and is still an operating cemetery side of the hill, you see monuments and cannons and statues. Those are all for Union troops that fought here. Bet some of you guys are into the names. So real quick, we've got a Union general named General Hancock, and then you've got General Howard back there behind Hancock. Over on the left, on the other side of the iron fence, is the Soldiers' National Cemetery. Lincoln was here November 19th of 1863 to help dedicate that hallowed ground. It was during that dedication that he gave his famous Gettysburg Address.
They walked all that.
Most part on this battlefield, when you see the ridge line, you're looking out to the west. They got to plow. And what do you have to do before you plow? You got to get the rocks out of the ground. So they would have wooden sleds. They would go out and pry the rocks out of the ground. They would move those rocks to the side of the field. They have no rhyme or reason. They're just getting them out of the way. But of course, they will make perfect defensive positions for troops whenever they can. South, you've got all Virginians. 16 regiments in General Pickett's division. So here's what's going on. Longstreet is slow to show up for the attack on July the 2nd. The place he would have made his attack is way up on the Union line, there in the area called the Peach Orchard. The Union line, or that Union area in the Peach Orchard, has been occupied by Union troops while Longstreet is wasting his time getting here. It's going to be about 9,000 Union troops led by a general by the name of Daniel Sickles. Anybody here heard about General Sickles? Okay, he's a guy that's making a big mistake for the Union Army on July the 2nd. His men are out of position by about a half a mile. They were supposed to be lined up with the rest of the Union Army. They've moved all the way out to the Peach Orchard because what General Sickles sees in his very limited perspective is high ground on the Peach Orchard.
Little Round Top, it was one of the key positions in the Union line during the Battle of Gettysburg and was the scene of intense fighting on July 2nd.
Battlefield. Off the walkway.
As soon as you said that, you would
I'd say not in proportion. Soldiers. You probably recognize Abraham Lincoln up there, and there are some high-ranking Union generals on the pillars of that monument. So that is the biggest one on the field. Pennsylvania was the most represented of any state, northern or southern.
Yeah.
We are going to the Farnsworth Inn for dinner. It is period dining. So we will be dining on food from the time period of the Civil War.
This is cool.
So one of the things is like peanut soup. Don't think I'm gonna get that. So excited to try this out. So we're just trying to find where to go for dinner. I don't know if you can see them, but like there's bullet holes here. Ugh. All the whites. So Roberto is looking over the menu, which he had to
undo this menu.
It was like a scroll.
Scrolled out. And just want to let you know that my wife will be ordering the goober pea soup.
No, I'm not going to eat the peanut soup. What's it got in it?
She loves it.
What's the peanut soup have in it?
Georgia militia favorite made with vegetable stock and other fresh ingredients.
Maybe you should try
She
it.
likes fresh.
As far as I know. The uniform is yeah, everything's gotta be.
I think that he's having, what is that?
I'm having something pickled.
He's having sweet pickled watermelon
Sweet
rind.
pickled watermelon rind. Say that real fast. Sweet pickled watermelon rind. Pretty good.
Got some interesting things on this menu here.
All right.
So I'm getting ready to try sweet pickled watermelon rind. Never had them before. Normally not something I would eat, but we're on vacation, so I'm going to try it. It looks kind of weird. It's okay.
You saw the whole look on your face. You're like, I'm gonna spit this out.
It's like the room. Wow, this is pretty cool. So I think I'm going to be getting like the apple pork chop, and Robert's going to try the salmon.
Yeah.
So this is called spoon bread. It's cornmeal, butter, what else? Eggs. And there was one more thing.
Yeah.
And so what did she say that they do with it?
I don't know. I'm just like, it's food.
You don't listen. So spoon bread, I guess we're gonna just eat it with the spoon and see what happens. How's that bread with the, what is it? Apple butter with it, I think. Pretty good.
I've always liked apple butter. This is good.
Okay.
Did you guys want to
Yes, spoon bread, very good. I like it.
Yeah, I wonder if we get that. At least we got the thumbs up. Get the face. Get the faces on this one.
Taste the butter.
get pumpkin fritters?
Yeah, oh, there we go. I like the pickled face better.
Men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they shall love, for now they will love you gay when the marching home. The old church bells shall peal with joy, hurrah, hurrah, welcome home, my darling boy, hurrah, hurrah, the village lads and lassies say with roses they shall cruise this way, will love you gay when the marching home.
So here's my apple pork chop. Looks very good. And there's Robert's
Am I saying?
pumpkin fritters, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Got some pumpkin fritters. So we'll try this out and we'll report back.
So this is the Grant's apple and bacon pork chop, bone-in pork chop, finished with sauteed apples, bacon, and bourbon. It was one of Grant's favorites, and I really did like it. We really enjoyed our experience here at the restaurant. The food tasted good. Now Robert really enjoyed his salmon fillet, Atlantic salmon fillet, broiled on top with a creamy dill sauce. He talked about that for a little while afterwards. So we would definitely recommend this experience all around.
Travels with the Baldiloks.
Like us on Facebook.
And subscribe to us on YouTube.